Introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to step into a world you already own, but perhaps have yet to fully explore the limitless world inside your mind. Your mind is not just a place where thoughts happen. It's a powerhouse, a creator, a problem solver, and the architect of your destiny. When you learn to unlock it, you don't just change your life, you redefine what's possible. Key point 1. Believe in your mental potential. Most people underestimate the sheer power of their mind. Your brain has over 86 billion neurons, each capable of forming thousands of connections. This means you have almost limitless potential for learning, creating, and achieving. The first step to unlocking this power is believing it's possible. Doubt closes doors, but belief flings them wide open. The journey to unlocking the power of your mind begins with one fundamental truth. You must believe that you're capable of more than you've ever imagined. Most people are not held back by the limits of their abilities. They are held back by the limits of their beliefs. If you think you can't, you've already put a ceiling on your growth. But when you think you can, your mind immediately starts searching for ways to make it happen. Your brain is an extraordinary biological masterpiece containing over 86 billion neurons, each forming thousands of connections. This creates trillions of possible neural pathways. To put that in perspective, the number of possible connections in your brain is greater than the number of stars in the known universe. That means inside you is a galaxy of potential waiting to be discovered. Belief is the ignition switch. It's not blind optimism. It's the conscious decision to trust in your ability to grow, learn, and adapt. Every inventor, leader, and trailblazer started not with resources, but with the unwavering belief that they could make a difference. Thomas Edison believed he could create a working light bulb, even after 1,000 failed attempts. Michael Jordan believed he could be the best despite being cut from his high school basketball team. They didn't let setbacks define their capability. They let belief define their path. When you truly believe in your mind's power, you stop seeing yourself as a prisoner of your circumstances and start seeing yourself as the architect of your future. You begin to approach challenges with curiosity instead of fear, persistence instead of surrender. This shift in mindset literally rewires your brain, strengthening neural pathways related to confidence, creativity, and resilience. Belief is contagious too. When you believe in yourself, others begin to believe in you. People can feel your confidence and are more likely to trust, support, and collaborate with you. Your belief becomes a source of inspiration that fuels not only your own growth, but also the growth of those around you. In the end, believing in your mental potential is not about arrogance. It's about recognizing that you were born with a mind designed for greatness. And when you honor that design by believing in it, you take the first and most important step toward unlocking its full power. Your thoughts are the invisible architects of your reality. Every word you speak, every action you take, every outcome you experience begins first as a thought in your mind. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly narrating your life to yourself. And that narration is either building you up or tearing you down. If you think small, your actions will be small. If you think with doubt, you will act with hesitation. But if you think with clarity, confidence, and purpose, your life begins to align with that mindset. This is why mastering your thoughts is one of the most powerful skills you can ever develop. It's the steering wheel of your destiny. We often underestimate the power of a single thought. A single negative thought, if left unchecked, can grow into fear, anxiety, or self-sabotage. In the same way, a single positive thought can spark hope, creativity, and courage. Your brain responds to the direction you give it. If you constantly say to yourself, "I'm not good enough," your mind will find evidence to prove it. But if you declare, "Sure, find a way," your brain will start searching for solutions. Learning to master your thoughts starts with awareness. Begin by listening to your inner dialogue. Are you speaking to yourself like a critic or like a coach? Your mind will follow the path you give it, so choose your direction carefully. One powerful technique is thought replacement. When a negative thought appears, don't try to fight it. Replace it. If your mind says, "I'm too inexperienced," Replace it with, I'm learning and improving every day. This doesn't just change your mood, it literally reshapes your neural pathways over time, making positive thinking more natural. Mastering your thoughts is not about denying reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about controlling the meaning you give to events. You can choose to see a failure as proof you're not capable, or you can see it as a stepping stone toward success. You can choose to see an obstacle as a wall, or as a door that requires a different key. When you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your emotions, your actions, and ultimately your results. You stop living as a passenger in your own mind and start living as the driver. And when your thoughts are disciplined, positive, and intentional, the power of your mind becomes unstoppable. One of the most powerful tools for unlocking the full potential of your mind is visualization, the ability to create a clear mental picture of what you want before it exists in reality. When you visualize vividly and consistently, you are not just daydreaming. You are programming your brain to believe in and work toward a specific outcome. The human brain is remarkable in that it struggles to distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. When you imagine yourself succeeding, your brain activates the same neural networks it would if you were actually performing the action. This is why Olympic athletes visualize crossing the finish line before the race, why musicians mentally rehearse their performances before stepping on stage, and why top entrepreneurs picture themselves closing deals before they enter the meeting room. Visualization works because it primes your subconscious mind. It sends a powerful signal to your brain. This is important. Prepare for it. This, in turn, heightens your focus, sharpens your awareness of opportunities, and increases your confidence. But for visualization to be effective, it must be clear, detailed, and emotionally charged. It's not enough to just think, I want to be successful. You must see it in your mind like a movie. What does success look like? What are you wearing? Who's with you? What do you hear, smell, or feel in that moment? The richer the sensory detail, the more powerful the impact on your brain. For example, if your goal is to give a powerful speech, don't just imagine yourself talking. Picture yourself walking onto the stage with confidence. Feel the warmth of the spotlight. Hear the sound of applause. See the smiles and nods from the audience. Let your heart race with excitement instead of fear. By rehearsing it in your mind, you make it feel familiar. So when the real moment comes, it feels like you've already been there before. Visualization is also a tool for overcoming fear and self-doubt. When you mentally rehearse yourself succeeding in challenging situations, you reduce the anxiety that often comes from the unknown. Your brain begins to treat those challenges as something you've already mastered. To make visualization a habit, dedicate a few minutes each morning or evening to closing your eyes and imagining your goals as if they are already achieved. Pair it with positive affirmations to reinforce the belief that it's possible. Over time, you'll notice that your thoughts, decisions, and actions start aligning naturally with the vision you've created in your mind. When you use the power of visualization with intention and consistency, you give your mind a blueprint for success, and once the blueprint is in place, your brain will work relentlessly to make it a reality. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant will grow. But here's the thing. Soil doesn't care whether you plant flowers or weeds. It will nurture whatever you put into it. In the same way, your mind will absorb and grow whatever information, ideas, and influences you expose it to, whether they are positive or negative. In today's world, we are surrounded by a constant stream of information. News headlines, social media posts, advertisements, opinions, gossip. Every single piece of information you consume is either feeding your growth or feeding your doubts. If you want your mind to produce clarity, wisdom, and creativity, you must be intentional about the mental diet you give it. Ask yourself, are you feeding your mind with empowering ideas, inspiring stories, and valuable knowledge, or with fear, drama, and negativity? Imagine a person who spends hours each day scrolling through mindless social media content versus someone who spends that same time reading books, learning new skills, and engaging in meaningful conversations. Over time, their minds will operate on completely different levels, not because of luck, but because of the quality of what they've been feeding themselves. Feeding your mind quality information is not just about reading books or attending seminars. It's about curating every source of influence in your life. The podcasts you listen to, the people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, even the shows you watch, these are all mental nutrients, for better or worse. Surround yourself with voices that challenge you to grow, not ones that keep you small. One powerful practice is mental fasting, taking intentional breaks from toxic news, negative people, or low-value entertainment. During this time, replace those sources with high-quality input, inspiring biographies, thought-provoking documentaries, skill-building courses, or even quiet reflection. Just like the body feels healthier when fed nutritious food, your mind will feel sharper, calmer, and more creative when fed with nourishing ideas. Remember, your mind becomes what you feed it. If you want to think big, you must feed it big ideas. If you want to be confident, you must feed it words and examples of courage. If you want to solve problems, you must feed it knowledge and perspectives that expand your thinking. In the end, your mental environment shapes your destiny. Protect it fiercely. Choose your inputs carefully. Because the quality of what goes into your mind will always determine the quality of what comes out of your life. In a world overflowing with distractions, the ability to focus has become one of the most valuable skills you can master. Focus is like a magnifying glass for your mental energy. It takes the scattered rays of thought and concentrates them into a beam strong enough to ignite progress. Without focus, even the most talented mind will waste its potential. With focus, even an average mind can achieve extraordinary results. Think about it. Your attention is your most precious currency. Wherever you spend it, you are making an investment. Spend it on distractions, and you buy temporary pleasure but long-term regret. Spend it on meaningful goals, and you purchase growth, mastery, and success. Every time you lose focus, you lose time, and time is the one resource you can never get back. The challenge today is that we live in what many call the age of interruption. Notifications, messages, endless feeds, streaming platforms. Our environment is designed to pull us away from deep, concentrated work. But here's the truth. Distraction is not just an external problem. It's also an internal habit. Your mind becomes what it repeatedly does. If you constantly allow interruptions, your brain gets used to shallow thinking. But if you train it to go deep, it becomes a fortress of concentration. Developing unshakable focus begins with clarity. You can't focus if you don't know exactly what you're aiming at. Every morning, ask yourself, what are the one or two things I must achieve today that will make the biggest difference? Then commit to them with unwavering attention. One of the best ways to strengthen your focus is through time blocking, dedicating specific chunks of your day to work on one important task without allowing anything else to intrude. This means turning off notifications, silencing your phone, and creating an environment where distractions are eliminated before they can steal your attention. Another powerful practice is mindfulness meditation. Just a few minutes a day of focusing on your breath can train your mind to notice when it's drifting and gently bring it back. Over time, you'll find it easier to stay present, not just in meditation, but in work, conversations, and problem solving. Remember, focus is not about working harder. It's about working deeper. You can spend 8 hours being busy and get less done than 2 hours of undisturbed, high-quality focus. The difference between average results and exceptional results often comes down to the quality of your attention. When you develop unshakable focus, you become unstoppable. You cut through noise, ignore what doesn't matter, and move steadily toward your goals while the world around you gets lost in distractions. Focus turns potential into achievement, and achievement into mastery. Beneath the surface of your everyday awareness lies one of the most extraordinary forces in your life, your subconscious mind. While your conscious mind is busy making decisions, solving problems, and dealing with the immediate world around you, your subconscious is quietly running in the background, processing vast amounts of information, storing memories, influencing habits, and shaping your automatic reactions. The subconscious mind never sleeps. It works 24 hours a day, even when you're not aware of it. It controls your breathing, heartbeat, and countless bodily functions without you thinking about them. But it does more than that. It also stores your beliefs, your fears, your emotional responses, and your habitual patterns of behavior. In many ways, it's like the operating system of a computer, always running, quietly directing how you function. Here's the incredible part. Your subconscious mind accepts whatever you feed it, whether positive or negative, and acts on it without question. If you repeatedly tell yourself, I can't do this, your subconscious takes that as truth and begins filtering your thoughts and actions to match that belief. But if you feed it empowering messages like, I am capable of learning and growing, it will align your actions, habits, and even opportunities toward making that statement true. Great thinkers, athletes, and innovators know how to use this to their advantage. They deliberately program their subconscious with positive affirmations, mental rehearsals, and clear goals. Muhammad Ali famously declared, I am the greatest, long before he became the heavyweight champion of the world. By repeating this to himself, he was not just motivating his conscious mind, he was training his subconscious to believe it and guide him toward it. One powerful way to harness the subconscious is through repetition and emotion. The subconscious learns best when messages are repeated with strong feeling. That's why visualizing your success while truly feeling the excitement or pride, as if it's already real, can be so effective. It bypasses the conscious doubts and plants the seed directly into your subconscious. Another method is nighttime programming. Just before you sleep, your brain is in a highly receptive state, moving from wakefulness into deep relaxation. This is the perfect time to affirm your goals, visualize your desired outcomes, or listen to positive audio messages. While you sleep, your subconscious continues working on those ideas, often leading to new insights or motivation when you wake. Remember, your subconscious mind does not judge or argue. It simply takes in what you consistently give it and works to make it your reality. That's why it's so important to guard your self-talk, your environment, and the messages you consume. When you consciously and deliberately harness the power of your subconscious mind, you turn it into your most loyal ally, one that works tirelessly behind the scenes to bring your visions to life. Every great mind in history has been tested by challenges. Whether it's personal setbacks, failures, criticism, or uncertainty, these moments are not roadblocks meant to stop you. They are training grounds for your mental strength. Just as the body grows stronger under resistance, the mind grows stronger when it is stretched beyond its comfort zone. Challenges are the weights in the gym of the mind. If you lift them, you become stronger. If you avoid them, your mental muscles remain weak. Too often, people see difficulties as proof they are not capable. In reality, challenges are proof that life is inviting you to grow into a greater version of yourself. When something goes wrong, your first instinct might be to ask, why is this happening to me? But mentally strong people ask a different question. What can I learn from this? This shift turns pain into progress. It moves your mind from victim mode to creator mode. Think about every skill you've ever mastered. Reading, speaking, driving, working, creating. You didn't become good at them because everything was easy. You became good because you kept going through mistakes, confusion, and trial and error. The same principle applies to life's bigger challenges. Every difficulty you overcome adds to your mental resilience, just like every rep in the gym adds to your